Well, it happened, viewers. I was arrested last night. I was about to go to sleep. I was in my pajama bottoms and t-shirt and socks. The police officers pushed their way into my apartment, put me in cuffs. One of them did not identify herself, the blonde on the right side of the picture that it's going to be part of this video. And I wasn't able to talk to a lawyer for hours. When I finally did, he hung up on me. When I finally met one in person, he didn't have time to hear me out. He was not willing to watch any of my videos. And then they initially came after me with a criminal harassment charge. Then it was reduced down to a peace bond. And actually, a couple hours after they had first started detaining me, the officers came into my cell again to tell me that I was also being charged with something obstructing a clergyman or something. So they were just throwing charges at me, trying to confuse me, officer after officer after officer that I had to deal with. So they really tried to take advantage of how flat-footed I was, how tired I was, especially when the hearing came after I had been up for about 10 hours, 8 or 10 hours, waiting to finally be brought before the Crown, the judge. And my defense attorney was really weak, really soft-voiced. The Crown and the judge seemed to be on the same side of the court. They had already made up their minds, and nobody listened to me. The social worker came forward to talk about some psychiatrist appointments that I went to years ago so that the term mental health could be injected into the ramrodding. So as you can see, I have to face 11 conditions right now. Condition 1, keep the peace and be of good behavior. Condition 2, you shall report to a bail supervisor at 275 East Cordova Street, Vancouver, BC, forthwith and thereafter as directed. Right now it's once a week between now and the 17th when I have to go before the judge again. September 17th, 2018 at 9 o'clock. Condition 2, Condition 3, attend the Downtown Community Court mental health program if you consent. Well, I don't consent. I don't participate in anything. The guy in the when I was leaving told me that just means I have to meet with a psychiatrist. So the psychiatrist can be spoken to and he can be asked, how are you finding Stuart's mental health between now and the 17th? So I get to play that game with the psychiatrist between now and then. Condition 4, you will reside where directed by the bail supervisor, which means that he can tell me that I'm not allowed to sort of stay in my apartment. I have to go stay somewhere else if he decides. So you see, I'm at the mercy of not just the court, I'm at the mercy of a bail supervisor who's been appointed to assess my mental health. And actually, that social worker that I spoke with, he couldn't wait to start mentioning that. And I kind of said, you know what, bro? I don't really want to talk to you anymore. I don't trust you. And I ended that conversation, and sure enough, he showed up in court to say, yes, Your Honor, I do believe that Stuart could use some assistance with his mental health, blah, 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 because of 20 years ago going to some appointments. Condition 5, you shall have no contact directly or indirectly with Sarah Rochelle Traver or Michael Onwood. Now, you guys, I don't know who they are. I didn't go to the same congregation as them. I don't know those names. I can't tell you which of the 150 Jehovah's Witnesses from the car crashes I've done that's them. So really, I don't know who they are. So really, I am to have no contact directly or indirectly with people I wouldn't be able to pick out of a lineup. Sarah Rochelle Traver or Michael Onwood, and you know the Jehovah's Witnesses knew to use these two instead of somebody like Norbert or Brian or George or other people that I know. So if they just happen to show up, they can say, "Officer, he's stalking us." Typical cult behavior, and now they have the backing of this undertaking given to a justice to indulge in their brainwashed cult panic junkie behavior. I wonder if they're actually going to celebrate this. Yeah. So I'm not to have contact directly or indirectly with them or anyone else that is known by you, but see, I don't know them. See the implication here? Or anyone else that is known. Back up a second. I don't know Sarah Rochelle Traver or Michael Onwood, or anyone else that is known to me to be a member of the Jehovah's Witness Church. Condition 6, you will not go anywhere that you know Sarah Rochelle Traver or Michael Onwood live, work, go to school, or worship. Condition 7, you are not to be within 100 meters of any church, kiosk, information booth, facility, or temporary display operated by members of the Jehovah's Witness Church. Condition 8, you're not to attend. I can't go anywhere in the 1500 block of Robson Street, Vancouver, British Columbia, unless I am passing through Robson Street in a car or on a bus. Conditions 9, 10, 11 are really just talking about weapons, as if weapons are a problem for me. They're not. I've never been arrested. I'm not a violent person, viewers. So you see what they're trying to inject in here. So I hope it's as obvious to you as it was to me, especially to me, since I spent 8, 9, about 10 hours total in jail last night in my pajamas, being moved around and intimidated and messed with, denied a lawyer until the, very sort of close to the time I was being brought before the judge, so that I was tired and irritable. I tried to keep my cool. Anyway, so you see what happens, viewers. So at least a month before I can crash a cart again. And while we're on the subject of lawyers, if any of you could recommend a good one in the Vancouver area, or maybe provide me with some advice, I would appreciate it.
Hi, Stuart. So there's been some ongoing problems with you and a group of people on Granville Street. Okay, so right now I'm here to tell you that you're under arrest. Okay? So step on out. Step on out. Okay, how's that?
Can you put that on my shelf phone?
Pardon?
Can you put that recording device on my shelf phone?
Sure. Do you want to turn it off first?
Well, yeah, you can turn it off.
How do you do that? Push that?
Yeah.